You'll see beginners tend to use bigger frames. So, you know, a more advanced player would use the diameter, the circumference would be smaller. And so basically a bigger frame is going to give a little bit more to your shot. And so, you know, whether it's more power or it's going to, you know, keep the mistakes from happening as much. So, you know.
But then with a bigger frame, you might have more injury if you're a beginner.
You
because
could,
you cannot hold it right.
Yeah, I used to use a really light racket because I had so many arm issues, and then I realized that was not smart because you can do so much with the swing. It allows too much to happen because it's such a light racket. You need to feel like there's, you know, to me, a racket that's, and you can check it, you go like this, this racket has a great balance between the whole thing. A head-heavy racket's going to go like that. A handle-heavy racket's going to go like that. So a nice, you know, this is a great balance, and I think that's important. But I'm also a little bit old school in the sense that I think if you try 10 different rackets out, it's like eventually you just have to make a decision because you could find that you like every one of them for a different reason. Then it comes into strings. I mean, the higher the tension, the more control you're going to get. The lower the tension, the more power, and usually a little bit easier on the arm and the body. But you know, if you overly concern yourself with the equipment, you know, you're going to be behind the 8 ball a little bit. I think it's find something you like, be comfortable with it, and a lot of times it's just a feel, how it feels in your hands. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be, you know, and every company makes a good racket. So all with Wilson, you know, Babolat, all the top companies, their top-of-line stuff is good. So you can find plenty of stuff out there.
Now, tell us about these two types of tennis balls.
So this one is the one that, actually, I think I've said this to you on the court. This is my Psych 101 test. If I hit this to somebody on the court and they don't smile or have any reaction, I probably don't want to teach them. Because usually, anytime somebody sees this, it just makes them smile. And I think that's kind of why it's geared towards kids, geared towards beginners. It's a heavy ball, so you have to really swing through it. So for mechanics, that's kind of what it helps out. Also with a tennis ball, and you're teaching a 4-year-old. I mean, beyond them, you know, swinging, you'd like them to make contact with the ball, and it's tough with a tennis ball. So we're really, in the industry, is really starting to see this come into play big time. Not only, I think one problem with tennis is, you know, if you play on a soccer team or a basketball team and you're 5, 6 years old, it's easy to get a game. The coach puts 5 guys out there, they dribble it around, they play on a shorter hoop. In tennis, it's really hard to rally, and rally is just going back and forth with the ball. So you have a 5-year-old, other than, you know, hand-eye coordination, doing a few little running things and getting them to learn how to throw, it's to say, hey, Johnny, let's hit 5 times in a row together. It's not going to happen with a tennis ball.
Hard.
So this is, you can control it a lot better, and it's just, and they have fun with it. I mean, it's a fun ball. Yeah, it's bigger. And it is, you know, where it comes in handy with adults is you have to hit it hard to make it move. And so we tend to see adults and beginners, the physics of the swing in tennis is you need to swing. That's why it's called that. And so we tend to stop our motion. We don't finish through. And so with this, it won't go anywhere. I mean, you really have to, you know, go low to high, finish over your shoulder, and
so this one you can squeeze, and this one you really can't.
Yeah.
So so it's like a little
I had
different.
a kid take a bite out of that one.
Oh, this one.
Oh, yeah.
So, but I think it's we're starting to see that in order for us to find the 5 to 8-year-old range where it's like, what do you do beyond, you know, the basics, is that ball is going to really start to come in handy, and start to, there's tournaments that are now involved with that, and I know at the club starting to really see that it's important to get that involved. So
what do they call this ball?
I call it a squishy ball, a softball. I wish
like
I
a
knew the
Nerf
actual term. It's Nerf ball. I think it's called spinners, but just, it's the fun ball, I guess. It's a fun ball.
Now, sometimes Gordon was talking to me before, Gordon, who's the director of tennis, he said that some beginners are also, adult beginners are using this to sort of improve their stroke, so it's having a role. And show us a little bit about our shoulder. This is that shoulder injury that when you hit too many serves, you can't lift, you get the rotator cuff.
A common problem is rotator cuff tendonitis, and this is the right shoulder here, and what you see in red are the muscles of the rotator cuff. There are 4 individual muscles that all attach on the outside of the shoulder. Oftentimes, if you're having some rotator cuff tendonitis pain, you'll feel pain laterally out here, and it's going to bother you when you come up because you're impinging underneath here. There should be a nice space left under the subacromial area, and when you come up, if these muscles aren't strong and working properly, they'll ride up underneath and you'll get impingement underneath there. We often take conservative measures to try and calm down the inflammation. You might have to take some time off of your tennis, and worst case scenario, we'll go in there and stick a little cortisone in there for you.
Now, we have a few minutes remaining. What is the take-home lesson for the home audience? What would you like to tell our home audience, Katie?
That tennis is a game you can play for your whole life and enjoy it, have fun, take care of your body, be aware.
And Eric?
I think more than anything, get involved. Don't be afraid to, there's, especially people that aren't, apt to going out and not being confident in their ability in whatever endeavor. I think just take the chance to go out there and fall on your face, because if you do that, you're going to meet people that are in the same boat as you, and you'll be able to make some nice friendships and stay healthy and enjoy playing the game you love.
And Tiffany, the message for the take-home?
I think quality of life is definitely the key, and so you want to be healthy, and then you also want to have fun and enjoy yourself. So getting out there, remaining fit is going to let you have a great quality of life. You're going to meet new friends. You're going to have fun.
Listen to your body.
Absolutely.
Don't be injured. And we want to tell our home audience, that for the female athlete, there may be some injuries specific for females, as the hip angle and everything like that, but to listen to your body, see a sports medicine doctor.
Prevention is key, Gloria.
Prevention is key,
Absolutely.
Stretching. See a pro, that they fit you with the racket correctly, and find the joy in your life, and, find what really makes it interesting about this sport, or any sport, to really motivate you. So we want to thank everybody for joining us at Health Talk, and hope you join us again. And if you like this show, contribute and donate to KSAR Television, KSAR TV. The telephone is in the back, and the address. And we're a public access television show, so we depend on donations from the community. Thank you again.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks, Gloria.